I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here. Again, another, what are you, 9 series going on now?
This will be 9th. We're going to do the 9th
now.
one happening now in November.
Were you always interested in getting involved in that programme, or did you think twice? Or what,
it was a bit touch and go, really. When they came to us 9 years ago now, and they said, look, we've got this idea for a show. We went, all right, okay. We're going to take 10 celebrities, right? Yeah, sounds good. We're going to fly them to Australia. Oh, lovely, that's nice. And we're going to drop them in the jungle, right. And then we're going to pour bugs on them and make them eat testicles and eyes. And
we're like, right.
This is getting a bit weird.
I said, what's it called? He said, it's called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. And I thought, what a terrible title for a show. Because the first time you hear it, you think it's long. That'll never work. That'll change. So but it didn't, and it's stuck. Yeah. And it's a ridiculous concept, isn't it?
It is, and it is quite ridiculous. So, and that's the thing is, kind of when we go out there to host the show, we kind of celebrate how ridiculous it is.
So when celebrities, I mean, I know at one stage there was some poor fella had to eat a kangaroo's arse, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I mean, when they're doing that and you're not, who comes up with this? I know, kangaroo's arse.
Yeah.
But what do you guys do when they're? But where do you go when they're sleeping? I mean, are you in the lap of luxury? Because
we don't stay. That hotel you see them kind of meet in and have drinks and afterwards. We don't stay there. We stay down the road in like apartments because we're there for about a month all in all. So you kind of want.
I mean, relatively speaking to where they are, it's very luxurious.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking, but no, it's nice enough. We go back
and I have to say, when you watch the show and they're chewing on stuff like fish eyes or anuses. They're a lot chewer than the edited version. I mean, we can be there for quite a while.
Oh no!
I don't know if you've ever tried eating arse, Ryan, but they can be quite chewy.
I can categorically tell you that I haven't.
Right.
Okay.
Well, if you do, it'll take longer than you initially thought it would.
Longer than you think. So, leave yourself plenty of time, is what I'm saying.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah. Great.
Don't treat it as a snack. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, were there any standout moments for you in the 9 series that you go, look, I'll never forget that moment?
There's a couple of real moments that will stick with us forever. The first was Bush took a trial by Paul Burrell called Hellholes, where he had to put his hands in and get the star. I don't know if you remember this one. And he's going, it's a snake, oh my God, it's a snake. And that was the first time we laughed outwardly during a trial because we couldn't hold it in. Yeah. And even the cameraman was stood there with the camera and he was laughing like that. And he kept going, oh, it's a rat. Ooh. And he goes, move over, darling. So that was one that will stick with us. And another.
Who was he addressing as darling?
The rats, I think.
Darling, darling.
Move over, darling.
I thought he was going to burst into song.
Oh, that's great, yeah, don't sound like
and another one was a live trial, which is one of those nights where anything can happen, and it was Dean Gaffney.
Oh, yes.
And he
EastEnders.
just went crazy during this trial.
And he was sick in a bush during the opening titles, so we thought, this hasn't started well. And it just went downhill from there. But we just laughed all the way through it. Yeah. And I think that's kind of part of us that we can't really hide how we're feeling. If it's funny, we'll laugh along. And as I'm sure you are watching it.
But just coming back to you guys again, if I may, the chemistry between you is very obvious. It's not makey-uppy, and it's quite pleasant about it. I think it makes it easier for people to watch rather than like a bickering couple, which would just be hell. Do you get moments of, look, would you just be somewhere else for 10 minutes? Do you need your own space from each other?
Not often, to be fair.
Do you live nearby? Or
we live around the corner from each other, yeah.
Seriously?
We used to live together.
We lived together when we moved to London. We shared a flat. Then we bought houses in the same street. We moved 2 doors away from each other.
Then I got married and moved around the corner to a bigger house. No, not to him. Then moved around the corner, and then he bought the house 2 doors down, and he's going to be joining us again. That's that.
Have you considered bringing in police protection? Or?
It's only because my wife cooks, I reckon. He comes round all the time for his tea.
That was the thing. They moved around the corner, and it was too far to walk for me tea, so I've bought a house closer, so it's easier.
And then, of course, what do your other halves think of your relationship together? I mean, is your missus okay with?
Yeah. No, I mean, she gets on very well with you, and yeah, it's. I mean, I wouldn't know what it would be like if it was awkward, but it never has been, and. Yeah, it's always been a great relationship.
And even, I love the fact that in your book, which you've called "Ooh, What a Lovely Pair," Ooh,
yes.
Very carry on, lads. You're like, one of you is in block capitals or block print or whatever, and the other's in italics. I mean, even within literature, you're inseparable.
Well, we kind of, when we first decided to do the book, we thought, how do we do this? You know, do we write a chapter each or whatever? And we wanted it to be quite conversational, so it's almost like you as the reader, you're listening to a conversation between the two of us, and that's how we've decided to do it, and it's gone down very well.
Okay, you haven't been on Irish TV before, I understand.
No, this is your
first, so don't make it the last, will you?
No, not at all. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You will be in Easton's, which is a bookshop in Dublin tomorrow at midday.
Yes.
And I suspect it'll be a very busy morning.
I hope so, yeah.
You'll all go along into O'Connell Street tomorrow and to get your book signed. Yeah, of course you will.
Great.
It's been a real pleasure. I really mean that, to meet you both
Thanks for having
in the
us
flesh.
on.
And continued success to you, whatever you do. ant&dec.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.